Alright, it's time for another Saveitforparts mailbag unboxing incoming junk video. This one I think I'm titling November unboxing, but it's probably almost to December by the time this comes out. Got a variety of stuff. We've got some stuff that people sent me. I've got stuff that I picked up at auctions. I've got stuff from Axeman, so I'm just going to combine it all together here. This one is from Aaron in Maryland, so I think he mentioned it in an email or a Discord chat, but I do not remember what's in here, so thank you, Aaron. It is going to be like a little early Christmas here, seeing what's in here. I've got a letter. He says, thank you for all your interesting content. Well, thank you, Aaron. Again, I appreciate whatever's in this box. So this appears to be a Google Coral AI dev board. Not quite sure what that means, but it looks like a little embedded computer here, so that should be interesting to play with. The form factor is really similar to a Raspberry Pi, although it has this giant heat sink on top. The cats are already showing up to assist here. So this is a little Pluto SDR. I have heard of these. I have not played with one before, so that's going to be interesting to experiment with. We have a... Oh, that's cool. Look at that thing. It's like a little cyber deck. It's another little tablet with built-in keyboard. Really interesting industrial tablet. I'm a sucker for these things. Oftentimes these are hard to use because they have some embedded software and embedded windows, and it's hard to get just the right flavor of embedded windows if it doesn't already have it. But I love the form factor of these things, and I'm looking forward to playing with this. And then we have a big heavy thing down on the bottom. All right, this is a... Okay. It looks like this is a Transas marine computer. Yeah, some information about compass, safe distance. So this is some kind of marine navigation system as far as I can tell. This might be a little bit too big for some of the boats I have, although it does look really interesting, so we'll play with this at some point in the future. All right, so that was some really cool stuff. Thank you again, Aaron. I will definitely play with some of these things and might get an entire video out of one or more of these items. It just depends what I have time for and how soon I have time to look into it. A lot of it might just go on the to-do pile, which is sort of an ever-growing pile that I have not gotten around to, but we'll see what happens. Next up, I have a couple boxes which I've also not looked through. I just got these from an estate auction, so this was somebody passed away, their family didn't want any of this junk, so it all went on an auction. I used to go to estate sales quite a bit. Before COVID, people would open up their houses when their parents passed away or moved into a nursing home. You'd go and buy all their old junk. These days, people are less willing to let you into their house, and a lot of stuff goes to auctions. There are many, many local companies who do local auctions. You can go on websites like estatesales.net and find some of those in your area, and you can go online, bid on stuff similar to eBay, but on different websites, and then sometimes you end up with random junk. There were only one or two items in this lot that caught my eye. It was an entire lot of multiple boxes, and I think I paid under $50 for it. I was mainly after... I believe this is what I was mainly after, a little Canon camcorder. So this looks like it might be a benefit to the channel. I like these tiny form factor camcorders. My partner really likes them because she can get her hands around these tiny ones a little easier. My main camcorder that I'm using right now is pretty huge. So when she's helping out with videos, something like this might be a good camera for her. I believe this one is HD. It uses pretty standard SD cards. It even comes with a 2 GB SD card. That's nice. And fired right up, so it seems like it works. We'll get that tested and might start using it for the channel soon. All right, we are testing with the little Canon camcorder, and the quality looks good so far on the little screen. We'll see how this looks in editing. All right, I'm trying this again. I actually changed the recording quality to the highest setting in the menu, so we'll see if that looks any different when I'm editing it. The one thing this didn't come with was a battery charger or a power plug, so it's got a little bit of battery life left, but once it dies, I'm going to have to go on eBay or Amazon. And we have a case for the camera, or I guess for a different camera, because there's a bunch of stuff in here. We have some old lenses. Oh wow, yeah, tons of old lenses. These might not be directly useful for my modern camera equipment, although I do have an old SLR, and I do have some adapters where I might be able to use some of these things, especially some of the teleconverters and some of the wide-angle lenses. Got some AV cables. We actually do have a Sony camcorder, but it's old enough that it actually uses tapes. So maybe not super useful. Nobody really has these tapes anymore. I don't want to deal with tapes. It is DV. I think it's mini DV. I started doing my filming in college with mini DV tapes, so I'm a little bit familiar with this, but it's a hassle to use, so may or may not actually be able to use this thing for anything. The case is pretty nice though. Have an old camera flash. These can be handy for digital photography, or you can take them apart and shock people with the capacitors like I used to do in high school. Old Photoshop elements, Nikon software, slightly bigger lens. So if you're into photography, well, it's not actually that big, just the case is big. If you're into photography, you can get these old school lenses for, well, I might have just broke that one, but you can get these for essentially nothing. Like, I'm considering all these lenses to be free because I just wanted that camcorder that was in the box. All of these are extras, which I may or may not be able to use, but if you have an old camera, even if you don't have a camera that uses these original ye old style mounts, you can get adapters for modern digital cameras. And yeah, you can find lenses like this, even gigantic lenses like this, essentially free because nobody uses these cameras anymore. Nobody uses old film cameras unless they're really into pain and suffering and they really want to be artistic. I've found lenses bigger than this for $5 at thrift stores because nobody was buying it and it just kept going on sale. Kind of a gross old 70s case here with yet another flash. So I have a million of these flashes now. That was only the first box from that estate sale. These were all one lot in the auction. So we have box number 2. We have a Polaroid instant camera. These are starting to come back in style. I think they've started making film for these again. Fluff smile. Well, doesn't seem to work anymore. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Another empty lens box. Don't know what that is. Not sure what that is. Oh, we've got an old iPhone. These are probably e-waste as well. I've had iPhones before and you can never unlock the things, especially if the prior owner died. These are just trash. So this can probably just go straight in the ocean. Oh, and then finally, the last thing from that estate auction was this monopod. This is kind of cool. I actually like these. This is a Manfrotto, which is supposed to be a good brand. I've heard of them before. And these are fantastic as hiking walking sticks or as camera stabilizers, although this one appears to have an extra large screw mount on it, so it might not actually be useful for cameras, but I have brought these out on camping trips and hiking trips before, and it actually has a secret compartment down here. I hope there's a sword in it. No, no such luck. It's just tripod feet, so I guess you can fold these out and then screw it back on here, and then you do have more of a stable shooting platform. Maybe that's what this piece is for? I don't know. All right, last up we have some stuff from Axeman Surplus, which probably shouldn't count for unboxing because I just bought it at the store, but it's still kind of cool, and I like an excuse to mention Axeman Surplus. I got this Tyvek hazmat suit for like $5. That's kind of cool. A $4 cat toy. I know Donnie and Fluff are going to enjoy that one. Some Tyvek booties, gloves. Work gloves are always useful, and Axeman has nice cheap ones. And then I got a bunch of headlamps, because you can never have too many headlamps, especially for projects like Sandland and our underground tunnels. So there you go. I think I have one other video of unboxing a separate box. So we have a quick unboxing video. This one might have to get stuffed into another video. The cats are both pretty interested in this box, so it must have come from somebody with cats. This one comes from viewer Steve in California. Thank you, Steve. This is already looking like some interesting stuff just from what I can see from the top here. So sometimes people just end up sending me their junk drawers or their spare computer parts box, which I'm not always excited about because I already have all my own junk drawers and spare computer parts boxes, but it is really cool to get random stuff, and it's kind of interesting to see what other people have that they don't want anymore. So while I don't necessarily recommend or request that people send me all of their old junk, every now and then somebody talks me into it. So let me know if you want my address and what you've got, and I'll think about it. So we've got some interesting computer PCI cards. We've got, looks like FireWire. Donnie is determined to help with this project. We've got some more computer cards. It looks like some, Hapag WinTV tuners. I've actually played around with these a little bit before. They're kind of fun, so this might be something we can mess with in the future. Yeah, this is apparently a really good box. Steve, you must have some really good smelling stuff at your house or some really interesting cats, because my cats will not stay out of here. This looks like a 3D printer motherboard. That's kind of cool. Speaking of 3D printers, we have some 3D printed stuff. This looks like it's from one of those fancy multicolor 3D printers. We have a 3D printed trilobite. I've actually done some of my own 3D printed trilobites, but mine were all one color. This guy is multicolor. That's really neat. Steve did say he included some stuff for my kids if I have any. Well, I just have cats, and they would play with the 3D printed stuff, but I think they would destroy it. Some more random cables and whatnot. And we have some drone parts. Like I said, some of this was sticking out of the box when it came because it got a little ripped, but it doesn't look too damaged. And yeah, if I get into really big drones, these look like some really useful parts. So this, I think, is a 3D printed mouse project. So kit in here just contains all of the electronics for the mouse, the little laser module and Wi-Fi module and whatnot, so that's cool. This looks like the frame of a drone or quadcopter with, I think, some batteries inside there, and then looks like some fasteners in this bag. Not sure what this is, maybe another drone chassis. I'm not sure if that is, it looks like 1.3 gigahertz TX, so maybe there's a transmitter in here too. I'm not sure if this is another drone piece, if this is a video transmitter for a drone or something else. Not sure what this is, but it has been flashed with a new firmware, whatever it is. We'll have to look that up. I'm not sure what's in this bag, but I'm just going to assume it's more drone parts. More RC stuff. Oh, here we go. We actually have some paperwork on some of those little boards and modules. So this looks like the brains for some drones and controller receiver info, so that's always helpful to have paperwork on it. All right, we have some cork material. This is useful for making gaskets or just general hobby stuff, and I think this is laserable, so I can make custom cork shapes with this stuff. Now that the box is almost empty, Donnie has decided to just get in there and start rooting around. Yeah, you think you're so helpful, sir. So I am already pretty overwhelmed by all the stuff that Steve sent me, but there's still more in the box. We've got a Raspberry Pi multiplexing board, NeoPixel rainbow stick. I think this is a little LED light display. We have some drone motors, and I think this is the final box of more drone parts. So thank you, Steve. This is a huge amount of random stuff, which I may or may not ever have time to get around to. I did see a few things in there that I could probably use sooner rather than later, but some of this is going to go back in a box and wait until I have time to get into multi-rotor drone stuff or until I learn more electronics. Now, while I don't have kids to enjoy the 3D printed stuff Steve sent, we do have cats who are really enjoying the box that he sent. So thank you from Donnie and Fluff to Steve for sending this great box, which smells amazing. These little 3D printed guys are really cool, especially with the multiple colors. I'm gonna have to figure out what 3D printer can do this. None of my 3D printers can do this, even when they're not clogged up or broken or down for maintenance like they usually are. Thanks again to everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.